This is my discussion post for TED Talks. I picked a speech that had Mike Rowe. He's well known. He's in Ford commercials. He's on Discovery's Dirty Jobs. He is a man's man. He talked about a real experience, and that's what captured the audience. He talked about when he went and castrated lambs in the Rockies. He captured his audience and kept their attention because he talked about the experience with a little bit of comedic delivery, and he kept it casual. Some have seen it on television, which those already know what's coming. Others respect him for doing every dirty job known to man and are ready to hear the background of a particular story. Mike Rowe keeps the people on their toes, with comedy and tragedy. If you watch the TED, you'll understand. And everyone wants to know how he's going to handle this job and the task at hand. No pun intended. Mike Rowe follows 2 commandments best. Thou shalt not flaunt thine ego, be thou vulnerable, speak of thy failures as well as thy success. And the second one was number 8. Thou shalt remember all the while laughter is good. Mike Rowe is explaining the entire procedure of castrating this lamb. He talks about the beautiful Rockies and the scenery and how lovely the gentleman was. He doesn't speak of his ego. He doesn't say, I should not be there, I'm Mike Rowe, I've done things grosser than this, I'm better than this. No. He admits he called around to find out ways to castrate a lamb. He called PETA and the Humane Society, and they say, put a rubber band around the tail and then around the testicles. And in a week, they fall off. So he goes to the farm and he watched the gentleman go through the procedure. He says, snip off the tail, snip off the tip of the scrotum, roll up the skin, bite it off. He's just like, wait, I heard that there was a less messy way. Can you just put the rubber band on there for me? And so the gentleman did. The humane way left the lamb quivering and shaking and laying on the ground, and the way that the gentleman did it, he snipped the tail, ripped, all that fun stuff. The lamb was all gleeful and bouncy and happy. Then he proceeded to do the castration the original way that the man taught him. Knife, hands, and mouth. The way he delivered this was the way that you felt you knew him for years. Like, you guys were going to go down to the corner pub, share a pitcher of beer. The laughs are not as infrequent as one might think when it comes to testicles. Mike is a good guy at delivering this. The tips that Mike used from Gar Reynolds are show your passion. The way Mike Rowe talks about his jobs he's done makes him a common man. Though paid way more than us, we can relate to him. We feel like there is nothing this man can't talk about. No job this man is above. This guy has done everything from porta potty suck-ups to castrating a lamb to collecting gooey ducks in Rhode Island. He admits he's been to every state in the United States, and he prides himself on doing every dirty job known to man. He also moved away from the podium, which I find a big help. If there was a podium in front of me, it would be off to my side, because he doesn't really go near it, and it makes you feel like you're the only one in the room. You can see how he's making contact and, like, bringing people into this discussion with his eye contact and his jokes, and that's a tip from Reynolds, too, by the way, to the eye contact thing. A tip that Nancy Duarte says is there's no room for compromise. He's going to give a blow-by-blow lecture without altering the facts. He knows that some might be grossed out, but hey, it happened that way. He's going to talk about it like it's any other job. If I was going to give you a tip about, like, delivering for your upcoming speeches based on on Mike Rowe's TED Talk, talk like you've lived the story, because this makes it that much more personal. You can laugh at yourself for events you've lived through. You can make people more comfortable and sometimes enlighten others about a subject that might be difficult for them to swallow. So I used 2 sources. I used Ology by Nancy Duarte, and I will insert a link for you. And I also used the GaryReynolds.com/presentation/delivery.html. I hope that this was fun for you and somewhat comedic, because I've had a bad week and this is making me feel better. So, thanks.